Hey, Bayek, it's me, and well, it's another of my what I have watched. So let's get on with it. The first one is Countess Dracula. Now, this is from 1971. Of course, it's a Hammer film. You've got to have a Hammer film. Every week I like to watch a Hammer film. Um, this is written by Jeremy Paul, who was a TV series writer. And it's directed by Peter Sasti, who directed Taste the Blood of Dracula 1970, Hands of the Ripper 1971, and a lot of TV series and TV films. And he's still alive today. He's 90 years old. Now, this stars Ingrid Pitt, who plays the Countess. And she had such a wonderful career. And what a great, just absolutely wonderful woman she was. There's an interview with her on this, and you get a whole insight into her whole life. It is absolutely fascinating. Films that she's well known for are Where Eagles Dare, 1968, The Vampire Lovers, 1970, The Wicker Man, of course, 1973, Who Dares Wins, 1982, Sea of Dust, 2008, and also various TV series and TV films. In fact, one of the extras on here, and the extras are absolutely brilliant on here, the interviews with her. There's a whole episode from the TV series Thriller, and it's brilliant. It's great. I mean, what an extra to put on a whole episode of Thriller. Fantastic. Absolutely wonderful. Then we've got Nigel Green, who plays Captain Dobie. He was in The Criminal, 1960, a film that I've talked about before. Jason and the Argonauts, 1963. Zulu, 1964. Brilliant, of course, Zulu. Mask of the Red Death, 1964, which is Vincent Price. Brilliant. He was also in The Face of Fu Manchu, 1965, The Skull, 1965, Cartoon, 1966, Tobruk, 1967, and The Ruling Class, 1972. Now, I have to say, sadly, he died in 1972, and he was only 47 years old. That's very sad, isn't it? Then we've got Sandor Ellis, who plays Lieutenant Toth. He was in The Evil of Frankenstein, 1964. And Soon the Darkness, our great film, 1970. Scorpio, 1973. And The Greek Tycoon, 1978. So, absolutely a really nice collection of actors who do a brilliant job as always for Hammer. And this is it's just a vehicle for Ingrid Pitt playing the Countess. The idea is, of course, she finds out that because she's getting old, and she really wishes she could have younger lovers, particularly when she sees the Lieutenant Toth, this young, virile looking in her eyes man, and she wishes, and guess what? She comes across this idea that if you have the blood of a virgin, then all bathe in it all over the skin, and it makes you younger. This happens, and she's totally transformed, and she becomes this younger version. And of course, she then says that she's the daughter of the Countess, and she starts a relationship with the young, dashing lieutenant. But there is a problem. This doesn't last that long. And therefore, she needs virgins. They've got to be young girls who are virgins for it to work. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So she carries on doing this. But the problem is, the more she does it, its effectiveness actually starts to wear off. So she needs to do it more often. Anyhow, she goes ahead with a relationship. They fall in love. He's so happy. And they decide to get married. What a climax to the film. The marriage ceremony is brilliant. I'm not going to give any away, but you may have some ideas what may happen. And it's brilliant. Absolutely love this. It's one of those. Hopefully, we'll get one of these big Hammer releases. I don't know when. It may not be considered the highest priority, but it should be, because it's really good. It's such an enjoyable film. Again, it looks great as well on the sets that they've done. Absolutely fantastic. Right, now the next one is a Western, and it's The Man from Colorado from 1948. This is a story by Barton Chase, and the screenplay is by Robert Andrews and Ben Maddow. It's directed by Henry Levin, who directed Cry of the Werewolf, 1944. Jolson Sings Again, 1949. The Dark Avenger, 1959. Journey to the Center of the Earth, 1959. The Inverse, Genghis Khan, 1965, with John Wayne. Terribly miscast. Also, the Desperados, 1969. And The Treasure Seekers, 1979. This stars Glenn Ford, who is, the amount of films that he was involved in was absolutely amazing. What an actor he was. Right, 1939, Heaven, Heaven with a Barbed Wire Fence, Texas, in 1941. Also, Gilda, 1946, and Lust for Gold, 1949. The Big Heat, 1953. Blackboard Jungle, yes, quite a famous film, in 1955. And another one, 3:10 to Yuma, 1957. Midway, 1976. Superman, yes, 1978. Virus, 1980. And his last film was Raw Nerve, 1991. Superb, Glenn Ford. And then we've got another great actor, William Alden, who plays Del Stewart. He was in Golden Boy, 1939, The Dark Past, 1948, Sunset Boulevard, which is an absolute classic, 1950, Stalag 17, 1953, Escape from Fort Bravo, 1953, Sabrina, 1954, The Bridge on the River Kwai, brilliant film, 1957, The Devil's Brigade, 1965. The Wild Bunch, oh yeah, The Wild Bunch, 1969. The Tower Inferno, 1974. Network, 1976. And Damien Omen 2, 1978, which is in the brilliant Omen trilogy. It's the second one. And also SOB, 1987. Then we have got Helen Drew, who plays Caroline. She was in Geronimo, 1939, The Imposter, 1944, The Baron of Arizona, 1950, Man in the Saddle, 1951, Outlaw is Son, 1957, and then she retired in 1961 and died in 2003, aged 89. So, now this is a 1948 film, and in many ways it's a film about somebody who is recovering from the trauma of war, and that is quite interesting. You think about it, set after not too many years, it's only 3 years after the end of the Second World War, and I think that is very much in mind. And it's a western that deals with this. Glenn Ford's got a very strong friendship with William Alden's character. They're inseparable friends. They were in the Civil War, and then afterwards they come out together, and Glenn Ford's character is asked to be the judge, and he appoints William Alden as his marshal, who the law, who implement the law. So their friendship there continues. But there is also this, that they both competing for this woman, Caroline, and in the end, Glenn Ford's character marries, he wins her as well, if you want to put it like that. But this story is, as it unfolds, is really good. You get right at the beginning a glimpse of what war has done to him as a character. Somebody, a group of Confederates are trying to surrender. They put up the white flag. He sees that, but he totally ignores it, and they're all massacred. And that is hidden. But already you're getting a glimpse. He can't stop himself. He really can't. He's got this thing in wanting to kill, and this film really works well, because as it goes along, we start to uncover all this, and how is it going to affect his friendship? That is the important part as well. And can he be stopped? Can he be stopped? Great film. I'm not going to give away what happens. But the conclusion is, it's brilliant the way it's done. Absolutely recommend this as a Western. Absolutely superb. Now, the next film is an absolute classic. It's Cool Hand Luke from 1967. It's, just absolutely brilliant prison drama. There's some great prison dramas, as we know, and this is up there with them. It's based on a novel from 1965 with the same name, Cool Hand Luke. The screenplay was by Don Pierce and Frank R. Pearson. It's directed by Stuart Rosenberg, who directed Murder Inc. 1960, The Drowning Pool 1975, Voyage of the Damned 1976, The Amityville Horror 1979, and Brubaker 1980, The Pope of Greenwich Village 1984, Let's Get Harry 1986, and My Heroes Have Always Been Cowboys 1991. And it stars Paul Newman, who plays Luke. And again, he's just one of those great actors. Absolutely. You look through his films. I must admit, this film just really shows you what a great actor he was. I've always seen him perhaps in not that many films, Butch Cassidy and The Sting and those kind of films. A list of films that he actually was in. Some of them. These are just not all of them. Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, 1958. The Hustler, 1961. Hood, 1963. Torn Curtain, 1966, which is a Hitchcock film. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, of course, 1969. The Sting, 1973. And The Town in Inferno, 1974. Absolute classic. He was in also Fort Apache, The Bronx, 1981. The Verdict, 1982. The Color of Money, 1986, which is kind of a sequel to The Hustler, 1961. The Hoodsucker Proxy, 1994. Those are just some of the films that he was in. Absolutely amazing talent. And then we've got George Kennedy, who plays Clarence. And what a history he has of films, going back to 1965 with Shenandoah, Flight of the Phoenix 1965, The Dirty Dozen 1967, Bandolero 1968, The Boston Strangler 1968, Airport 1970, Thunderbolt and Lightfoot 1974, Airport 1975, and also he did one in 1974, Earthquake 1974, The Eiger Sanction 1975, Airport 77 1977, Death on the Nile 1978, Brass Target 1978, there's loads, isn't there? Concord Airport 79 in 1979, Virus 1980, Bolero 1984, Brain Dead 1990, The Naked Gun 33 and a half, third. It was in that, The Final Insult 1994, and The Man Who Came Back 2008, and The Gambler 2014. What amazing lot of films. And the other outstanding thing, and I think it's well deserved, he won an Oscar for his role in this film. Wow. Yes, this was full of Oscar nominations, but he won the Oscar Best Supporting Actor. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and so well deserved. Now, there is one thing I have to say about this film. I've always found it over the years that I've watched this. There's a scene which kind of just suddenly changes the tone of the film, and then it goes back. There's this car washing scene. They're watching on this prison gang, and it's almost like because there is a lack of women in this film. And then they see this woman, and she's washing her car, and it's just there as a scene, and it's this is done by Joy Hammond, and I just find it's just an interesting scene. It's there. It's showing I don't know the way they are, and what a relief to see a woman on this prison thing, because that's what they're dreaming about, women, and there's one. It's just there. It's kind of inserted into the film. This film delivers on all areas. I think it's up there with the best, as I've said, and I think it's great. Really enjoyed it. Absolutely, highly recommended. And right, the next one is The Call, 2013. This is a psychological crime thriller, screenplay by Richard de Ovidiu. It's directed by Brad Anderson, who directed Next Stop Wonderland, 1998, Happy Accidents, 2000, Session 9, 2001, The Machinist, 2004, Vanishing on 7th Street, 2010, Stone-Earth Asylum, 2014, which I have in my collection, and I may have mentioned it quite a few months ago when I had it. Also Beirut, 2018, Fractured, 2019, The Silent Hour, 2024, and Worldbreaker, 2025. Also, I have to mention this as well, there's a lot of TV series and TV films. And one that he was very much involved in was Fringe, which ran between 2008 and 2011. He directed a lot of episodes for that brilliant series. Absolutely. Brilliant. So this stars Halle Berry. Halle Berry, what an actress in terms of the films that she's been involved in. She was in The Last Boy Scout, 1991. Now, interestingly enough, in this film, she suffered a loss of hearing in it, which did have quite an effect on her life. But she was very persistent, obviously, in her career and carried on throughout that. There was a court case and all sorts of things going on around what happened to her. Then she was in Boomerang, 1992, The Flintstones, 1994, X-Men, the first X-Men, 2000, then Swordfish, which is a great film, 2001, Monsters Ball, of course, 2001. She was in Die Another Day, 2002, Pierce Brosnan film. I know it gets a lot of stick, but I'll tell you what, I quite enjoy that film. I really like it, and she's great in it. X-Men, The Last Stand, 2004. 2000. Sorry, I've got that wrong. Catwoman, 2004. Very controversial film. It gets a lot of stick. I think in some ways it's not as bad as people make out. It really isn't. But yeah, I understand exactly why people go on it. X-Men: The Last Stand, 2006. Cloud Atlas, 2012. X-Men: Days of Future Past, 2014. Kingsman: The Golden Circle, 2017. She was in John Wick, Chapter 3, 2019, Moonfall 2022, and Crime 101 2026 this year. Then we have got Abigail Breslin. She was in Signs, which as a child star, that was in 2002. Little Miss Sunshine as well, again, 2006. Zombieland 2009. Ender's Game 2013. Final Girl 2015. Yes, and Classified 2024. Right. So, she plays the young girl who is very important in this film. Now, Halle Berry's character, she plays this 9/11 operator, and it's quite an involved job. And her partner is also a policeman, and she does suffer quite a terrible thing when she's doing one of her calls, and it's based on this serial killer, and it's horrific for her, and she decides, she has a rest away from it, but then she comes back, and her capacity now is as a teacher, and how working for the 9/11 service, and showing people how it works, and when they get visitors, as well as teaching all those involved. And what happens is that when this is going on, she becomes involved in a phone call. The phone call comes from the young girl who is in the boot of a car, who's been abducted, and is asking for help. And this is a great setup, as you can imagine, to a film. How are they going to trace it? And this all unfolds brilliantly. And of course, Halle Berry's character is massively involved in this. And it really stretches, and she really does take a big personal interest in this. I think this is a really good film, and I really enjoyed it. It was really good to see, and it keeps you on the edge of your seat as well. Even though I've seen this and knew the outcome, the ending as well is absolutely fascinating, and what happens. Really good, absolutely highly recommended. And then, we've still got a couple more yet. So let's get into this. We have got Chateau's Land from 1972, screenplay by Gerald Wilson, who did, in terms of writing, Scorpio 1973, The Stone Killers 1973, Death Wish 1974, and Firepower 1979. It's directed by Michael Winner, who was quite a controversial director in his time, and since his death, there's been quite a few allegations connected with him. Films that he directed were Out of the Shadow 1961, The System 1964, which is a very good film starring Oliver Reed. Also Annabelle Brooks, also starring Oliver Reed, 1969. He was in The Mechanic, directed The Mechanic, 1972. Directed Scorpio, 1973. The Stone Killer, 1973. And of course, Death Wish, 1974. Death Wish 2, 1992. Death Wish 3, 1985. And also, he continued directing Death Wish films right up to the last film, which they did in the series. They did 5 of them. I think the last one was 1999 that they directed. So I was very much involved in a massive series of films. This stars Charles Bronson. Oh, let's be honest, in this film, I think it says he does 15 lines. Yes, he's very quiet, typical Bronson role, but he plays it well. You've got to say he plays the silent role very well. He plays this half-breed Indian. Very good. And I've got to say, the villain is brilliantly played by Jack Palance. Jack Palance, great career going back to 1950, Panic in the Streets. He was in Shane, 1953, The Barbarians, 1960, The Last Judgment, 1961, The Professionals, 1966, Shay, 1969, Craze, which is a very good film, 1974, Safari Express, 1976, Hawk the Slayer, 1980, Batman, yes, Batman, 1989, and then he was in these City Slicker films. There were 3 of them between 1991 to 1994. So, yeah, they were very popular, City Slickers. What is this about? Well, Charles Bronson's character, who they say they call them half-breeds, is mixed between Indian and a white man. He kills a sheriff who's picking on him. You can't blame him. He's tough. And he kills the sheriff, and then off he goes. And this immediately causes a reaction. And Jack Palance is asked to get together a posse to go and get him and hang him. That's what they're going to do. They'll get him, administer their own justice, and hang him. And what we have here is a brilliant Western with, as I say, him not saying much, but what he does, he has a great presence. And basically, he runs rings around them and pops them off slowly. He gets his, he makes he just totally has his own game, his own way of doing this, and he does it brilliantly. And it worked so well. I really enjoyed it. Highly recommended. Bronson. It's Bronson. Hey, cool, hey. And then you're thinking, well, has he got to the end yet? Well, I have. And I'm in with a film that would easily have made my top 10 of the 1980s films that I did. This was considered, but I couldn't put it in. But it's Fatal Attraction from 1987, screenplay by James Dearden. It's directed by Adrian Lyne, who directed Flashdance, 1983. The Notorious 9.5 Weeks, 1986, a very sexual film, that one. Jacob's Ladder, 1990. And then Indecent Proposal, 1993. Unfaithful, 2001. And Deepwater, 2022. There was quite a big delay. He came back to directing in 2022. This, of course, stars Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas, what a great career he had. His amazing career. He's got Coma, 1978. China Syndrome, 1979. The Star Chamber, 1983. These are just some of the films that I really want. Romancing the Stone, 1994. The Jewel of the Nile, 1985. Wall Street, yes, Wall Street, 1987. Black Rain, 1989. War of the Roses, 1989. The Game, brilliant film, 1997. The Sentinel, 2006. Then he got involved in the Marvel Universe. Ant-Man, 2015. Ant-Man and the Wasp, 2018. Avengers Endgame, 2019. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, 2023. Absolutely fantastic career. Then we've got Glenn Close, another great actress. The World According to Garp, 1982. The Big Chill, 1983. The Natural, 1984. She was in Jagged Edge, 1985. Dangerous Liaisons, 1988. 101 Dalmatians, 1996. Live action 1, playing Cruella. Mars Attack, 1996. Air Force One, 1997. Wake Up Dead Man, 2025. And she's going to be in this year, The Hunger Games, Sunrise, on the Reaping, 2026. So that's out this year. And then I just mentioned Anne Archer. She was in Raise the Titanic, 1980. The Naked Face, 1989. Love at Large, 1990. Patriot Games, 1992. Body of Evidence, 1992. Clear and Present Danger, 1994. Some good films here. Then November, 2004. Endgame, 2006. Lullaby, 2014. And Trafficked, 2017. Great cast. And this is one of those films that is very much a film that is talked about. It was an important film at the time. We get the term bunny boiler referring to somebody, which is a reference from this film. A woman who is certainly not going to be messed with. Bunny boilers. This film is brilliant. The action, it's a really, when we look at it, it's not just about the consequences of infidelity, which he pays for in a big way, and it really is in a big way. I think it's also a reflection of when it was made, about warnings about AIDS and promiscuity and what people didn't know about sexually transmitted diseases, which AIDS at the time was very important. There was no cure for it, and this was seen as a warning in that age of promiscuity. I know a lot of it was also AIDS linked with the gay community as it was seen, but also it did affect straight community, straight people. So, yeah, this film has a lot of cultural importance, but it's such a good film. Keeps you gripping. The build up to it. The other important thing I think to mention is there is two endings. The one that we got, and then there's the other ending, which they initially did, but it was felt the audience reaction wasn't so good, so they did this alternative ending, and I think I have to agree. Actually, I like this ending that they did use. I think it is good. It's very effective. It's brilliant. The whole cast is great. Anne Archer as his wife, superb, absolutely superb. And say Glenn Close, what a performance. She has that wonderful mix of the way a character goes from being reasonably sane to insanity. And you get glimpses that she's not very stable, that there are certain things right quite early on in the film, and that we start to get that more and more as it goes on, and it's brilliant. I love the way that she fights him, really, because she, in her eyes, doesn't want to be just discarded. She is not going to be discarded, and he now wants to discard her, and she's going to great lengths to make sure he knows that he's not going to be treated like that. And oh wow, this film is absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Anyhow, I'd better stop now. That's it. Absolutely enjoyed another great week of watching films, and hope you've enjoyed it. If you like this video, please give the video a like. Get it onto YouTube, so hopefully other people might enjoy it. And if you want to see all my previous things that I do on my channel, look in the playlist. You can see all the previous videos that I've done. Just have a look in there, often with a retro feel, and TV series and stuff like that. Have a look in there. And also, why not consider subscribing if you haven't? Please subscribe, and then we'll let you know when I put out videos. And if you have any comments, please put your comments down. I always love to read your comments. And that's it. I have gone on far too long. So all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.